Hello, kings and queens. This is Yolanda Mitchell, a Nubian Queen talk show. You know how we do it on Nubian Queen talk show. We talk about things, we'll be transparent, and we, are just honest and just keeping it real, just getting it out there, letting it out there, just because we are new beings in Christ, right? Old things have passed away, and behold, all things are new. So let's just cut to the chase. I really want to just talk about the relationship piece, right? The relationship piece, I just want to talk about that, okay? About communication. And if you are with someone and they're not willing to communicate, they're not willing to talk about things, they're not willing to open up, then you're not with the right person. Because how are you going to communicate and talk when you're doing all of the talking, they're not talking at all? You are sharing all of your life stories and all of your issues, and you're telling all of your business, and you just letting it all out there, just being honest. And it's just really a monologue. It's not a dialogue. It's just you talking. But in a relationship, there's communication. There's you talking and they're talking. And if you are the only one that's willing to share your thoughts and feelings and emotions, your heart, and they're not willing to open up, you got a problem. And let me tell you this, when you first notice in a relationship red flags and things you don't like and you have questions and you don't get your questions answered, get out of that relationship. Don't waste your time. Just don't. Because they have to be willing to dig deep and answer the questions that you need answered. And if they were in a past relationship and if they put it off on the person and they never share where they erred and made a mistake, listen, you don't need to be with them. They did not grow from that. They did not learn from that. They are going to be a problem later on in the relationship because they got some deep-rooted issues, and the same things that they dealt with in a past relationship, they're going to bring it into your relationship. And they're going to make it seem as if it's all your fault. And so if you're with someone who is not willing to communicate with you and open up to you, while they may seem mysterious and you like them, listen, they got some skeletons in their closet that they are afraid to let out or let you know about them. They got some deep-rooted issues and some things that they really need some major help with. And you'll find that out 5 and 10 years later in the relationship. You won't find out that they are perverted. You won't find out if they like little children. You won't find out if they are narcissists. You won't find out if they are really emotionally abusive and things like that. You won't find out until later. But pay attention to the signs. That's the thing, right? You have to focus on the signs because there are always signs that are there. But because we're looking for love, we wanted to be in a relationship, right? We just wanted to be in a relationship so bad that we're willing to overlook the signs because I've been there. Listen, I was celibate for years. Finally found someone that gave me attention, and I went to the first one that did. Didn't give myself time to really date other people. I just dove right into that one. And I wish that I would have given myself time in them. I wish I'd have given them time too. But no, I was willing to get in that relationship, diving in it, just telling all my little business and stuff, and not realizing that, hey, you need to be healed. You're finally talking about it, and you're talking about it, and it ruins your day. That means you're not over it. That means you're not healed from it. And I should have not been in a relationship. I should have left it alone, but I didn't know that. But I know now, right? I know now. And I want to share that with you all. I want to share it. If that person talks about that relationship and it upsets them all over again, that's why you got to communicate. If they get upset talking about that relationship, they're not over it. And I'm not saying they're not over that person, but they're still dealing with the wounds, the hurt, the pain, the disappointment, the rejection, abandonment, or the adultery, or whatever, the abuse, whatever it is. They're not over it. They're not healed from it. And if you're not a therapist, you have to deal with all of that trauma. And while we want to be superwoman, we want to be superman and things of that nature, you have to allow them time to heal. And just be friends with them. Don't try to get in a relationship with them. Stay friends with them. When you start noticing those red flags, allow it to be red flags, and don't feel like you have to be the one to help them to get better. They have to want to get better. If they're not willing to seek counseling and to seek help, you got a problem. If you're willing to stay with them, because they're going to not see that they have an issue. They're not going to see that they have a problem. And anything transpiring in your relationship, they're going to blame you for it. And they're going to say it was all your fault. They're not going to take ownership for anything. Another thing, please don't get with someone who's on the same page as you. If you want something out of life and they don't want something out of life, don't get with them. If you want something and you're making good money, you're working, you're doing this and you're doing that, and they're not working at all, and they're not showing any signs that they're going to work, leave them. If you find them and they're still living with their parents or a family member and they don't have a job, or, if they have a job and don't have a vehicle and they are 40 and 50 years old, let me tell you something. At a certain age, they should have something. They should have something that they have worked for. They cannot have lived for 4 decades and they don't have a car. They should have lived 4 decades and don't have a house or something. Now, some people do fall on hard times. I can relate to that. I understand. But this is why you communicate and you talk. You may not ever talk to their ex. You may not get a chance to speak to their ex. You may not know anyone that know their ex. But it's certainly good to know. Because they'll tell their side of the story. They won't tell the other side. You know what I'm saying? But find out what happened in that relationship. See if they're going to be honest and open with you. See if they're going to be transparent. And that's what you need. That's what we need. We need people that's going to talk to us. Talk back to us. Talk to me. Tell me what I need to know. I need to know what I'm getting myself into. How many kids do you have? Do you want any more children? Do you want to get married? Do you believe in God? Will you pray with me? Do you know how to pray? Listen, what you really hold dear to you, what is important to you, bring that out in the discussion. Bring that out. You need to be, that's something you need to be talking about. That is something you need to be sharing. You need to, that right there, that thing right there, that's what you need to be talking about. You need to be sharing this stuff with them. Because let me tell you something, you're sitting up there and you telling all of your business and you're not allowing them an opportunity or a chance to tell you about theirs. You got to find yourself being used and abused, okay? Because they know your triggers, they know your hurt, your pain, and they're going to find a way. Once they get to know you a little bit better and a lot more, they're going to start being manipulative. They're going to start using those things against you. Oh, she's someone who needs love, affection, attention, want to be seen, want to be loved. Listen, I was that woman. I was the girl. I was the queen. I was the one that wanted, and I got it. But after a while, that gets old, because guess what? We're going to grow up and we're going to mature and we're going to need more. We're going to realize that we need more. And it takes communication. You got to talk about it. You got to talk. They have to be willing to talk. They have to be willing to open up and share some things with you. And see, I know that some of us, oh my goodness, don't want to cry. We have these guards up. We have these walls up. I remember, my husband telling me, you will let go of a good man and run him off because of what the last man did to you that hurt you. You got to trust me with your heart. You got to trust me with what you've been through. And I opened up and I fell in love because I showed him my soul. I allowed him to see my pain. I allowed him to see my heart. I allowed that. But I wish that I'd have held back on some of that stuff. No, not held back on it. I wish I'd have got healed. I wish I'd have got healed. I wish I'd have went and got help for that. I thought that being celibate for 5 years, I thought being by myself was going to work. Let me tell you something. When you're not healed, you will continue attracting the same old jokers. You just got a relationship with that one 5 years ago. I'm just saying but listen. You haven't healed from it. Didn't talk about it. You didn't realize what was in you that attracted those kind of men. And why do you feel like you had to get those kind of men? Why didn't you want some men that was on the same page as you, wanted the same things out of life? Like, are you dealing with insecurities and low self-esteem? Like, what is going on with you? You had to have been the greatest common denominator in the factor. It was you, not them. You were attracted to those men. And matter of fact, you engaged. You pursued them. You went after them. You wanted them. And you got them. And you got yourself a hot mess. So, when you get in that relationship, open up and talk to them. And if they holding back, you should hold back too. Because let me tell you something. The spirit of manipulation is running rampant. And people nowadays, they're trying to figure out what can they do to not have to do as much as they did in their last relationship. They're not willing to do the 50-50 or 100. They're not willing. They want to do the 20 while you do the 80. Wear you out, burn you out, use you up, drain you of everything. And when you have nothing left to give, they're ready to hit the stack. They're ready to leave. They're ready to abandon you because they have used you up. You're useless to them. Money gone, house messed up, no good vehicles, your body done been stretched, you done had a child by them, you're tired, you have no energy, walking around, moping around, you have nothing to offer, you're tired, they have drained you of your hope, and they're ready to go. And you got to be so ever careful of those leeching spirits. Those people that try to leech and snag and suck the energy and the strength out of you, because they will. You have to be careful. Be careful. So don't be quick to open up. There has to be a balance, right? Y'all talk about things and enjoy life, date, and things like that. But it's going to take communication. It's going to take that. I just wanted to share that with you all. This has been beautiful. And I pray that you continue to hear more. I have more stories to talk about, y'all. I do. But that's it for now. I love you all so much. Thank you for your time and listening to this podcast. This is Yolanda Mitchell talking to you, beautiful kings and queens. You take care of yourself. Peace and blessings.